everyone, and welcome to 100 Days of Stardew Valley. This is my third part of this series and takes place 100% in fall. I think we're going to get to day 84 here in this part, and in this playthrough I have a ton of mods. I think I have more than 60, and I actually have some new ones just for this part, which I'm really excited to explore. In general, I tried to pick mods that didn't make it too much easier, but you'll see moving forward that we did have lots of new content to explore. I'm putting all the mods on the screen right now for you to look through, but they're also linked in the description below. But if you have any questions, please let me know. But here we go with day one. On day one, I set up my farm as much as possible, and I got notice from the owner of the hotel that June was coming to live in the valley for fall and winter, which is a big deal for me because I am determined to romance June, preferably by the end of fall. I recently put out a video about all the hard events for him, and without a doubt, he's my favorite NPC released in any of the mods, so I will absolutely be putting work in this month to make him my friend. At the end of this day, I got this super weird cutscene from having this like foxtail charm in my inventory, which I had never seen before. And then we're starting off day two, where I'm getting the fish I need to finish up my bundles. There I got my tiger trout, and then I'm just trying to get some hardwood in the hopes of having the ability to unlock Ginger Island ASAP. Finish off the field research bundle here, and did some mining in the little quarry attached to my farm. I think I said it before, but I'm using a mine called Solo Four Corners map from a creator called Daisy Nico, which is also linked below, and I really like this map. It's one of my favorite modded ones I've played. Starting on day 3, I decided I wanted to finish the Ridgeside quest, so I'm trying to get all of the blessed artifacts to finish up and open the spirit realm. The first one I did was the fox mask, which is from standing in front of that area for like 3 in-game hours. Then I got the ancient music box from the hotel and the village hero sculpture from the well. I also got the elven comb, and right here I also got the Everfrost stone from the area where you buy fruit trees. Here I fished beside the turtle for the sapphire pearl and hoed the ground beside this tree for the moose statue. Also behind the rail carts I got the opal headband, and then I had to quickly unlock the greenhouse so that I could water the statue at the back of it and get the pale candelabrum, and that's all of them. I also have a video on my channel that is a lot slower of that process if you are having any issues unlocking the Ridgeside quest, but that was like a really quick overview. I think I finished it off in one day. Put them all into the area there and then unlock the spirit realm. I thought it was a good idea to go right away to the spirit realm, and you'll see that it was not. I was not prepared. I had nothing in my inventory and pretty much instantly died while I was trying to extinguish the first flame. So I determined that I needed to go back and be more prepared. It is now the 4th, and I am getting the last fish I need from fishing in the rain, which is the walleye in the evening, which unlocks a small glow ring. And I am gifting Aria for her birthday, and Yuma as well. I so far have missed 0 birthdays other than one in the first spring, which was very unfortunate. I only missed it because I realized that the little UI info cheats doesn't show you if you have 2 birthdays back on the same day, which was such a bummer. But here I am finishing the Ridgeside rail carts and hope to get around a little faster. And of course the traveling cart had a truffle, which would have saved me probably about 30 grand and like a ton of time, but that's just the way it is, as I think I'm one day away from having truffles from my pig. I'm making a ton of progress here with the community center. The only thing I'm missing is the winter foraging bundles, which I check every single time at the traveling cart and have found nothing. But in order to complete the spirit realm, I bought myself a new sword and packed up a bunch of like food and healing items and headed off on my way. It is kind of tricky navigating this area. There is a map on the wiki, but you basically have to go to the 5 corners of this map and extinguish all of these flames. I mostly decided to avoid all of the creatures and just heal as much as possible. By the 5th, I had these like long snake creatures, I forget their name, coming for me, and it was very overwhelming, but I was able to finish up this quest line, and at this point I am completely done the Ridgeside Village quest line, which is great because it unlocks the ability to be friends with Geo and the other NPC. I completely forget her name, and I'm really excited. I would like the ability to talk to the dwarf. So I did do some farming to get the dwarf skulls I'm missing, which are 2 and 4, I believe, or 3 and 4. So I went to the mines to get those and died, of course. But here's like a quick overview of how I'm doing with relationships in this playthrough, which I think I'm doing pretty good. You'll see that the only characters that I'm not BFFs with are definitely ones who have not had birthdays yet, or the rare ones that I missed, but I digress. There's only so much I can do. And then I made a last minute trip to the Skull Caverns just because I need a little bit of iridium so that I can make some sprinklers with my newly unlocked greenhouse. Here's me donating those items that I got. I still need the last dwarf scroll, but I will have that soon enough. And I did the Pierre's Prime Produce quest because I had a ton of crops planted and I figured it was good. There is me unlocking the greenhouse, which I knew I was going to get as I was just missing a pumpkin. I did use speed grow on the pumpkins, the amaranth, and the eggplants just to get things done as quick as possible. And then I went to Jarek's shop to buy a bunch of vegetables. I only bought the vegetables because I want to complete that Pierre's Produce quest as quick as possible. I know I have things saved for submitting it, I just have to grow. But here I am on another Skull Caverns run, as you too. I had awful luck when it came to the treasure rooms, but I got a little bit of iridium and was able to upgrade to some iridium sprinklers, mostly for my greenhouse. Speaking of greenhouses, I have a greenhouse mod installed. I forget the name of it, but I will link it below. And it is so pretty. I have never used a greenhouse mod before. I have used some mods that add additional greenhouse spaces, such as that grandpa's shed that we will see later on in this playthrough. But this is like stunning. The tree gave a message saying something about rail carts. So I went on a little adventure here in the basement, which I thought would be really good for more kegs or more artisan good supplies. And there is a little minecart, which is pretty cool to get around. I don't know when I would use it just to get to the greenhouse, but that's okay. And I decided I was going to plant starfruit in my greenhouse in the hopes of making more money. Pretty much twice a week, even if I don't say it, I am gifting gold quality coffee beans to June in the hopes of befriending him. I'm trying to get that done as soon as possible, but finally I unlocked Krobus in the sewers. I actually think I had him early, but I did not realize that I needed to talk to Marlin with Stardew Valley Expanded, and I had to like walk into that area. I couldn't just take the minecarts, so I did not get access to Krobus for a little while, which was unfortunate, but that's okay. We're on day 68 now, so I went to get more hardwood and forage up some mushrooms, especially the chanterelles and things like that, which I did not have any access to as I chose the fruit bat cave. And then I went to Ridgeside Village again to gift June another coffee bean, which is the theme of this playthrough very much. Today was his birthday though, so it was extra important. And since I have the Ridgeside Village quest done, I have unlocked the Summit Farm. Now, I haven't played in the Summit Farm a ton, but I really would like to. It is a huge space, but it needs a ton of time clearing it out, so I spent the next few days doing that with all of my remaining energy. I finished up a quick quest for Clint to unlock the Summit area on the main map, and that was what that text mark said. And then I harvest a bunch of crops. I really like the sound of harvesting cranberries and blueberries, so I definitely took some time to appreciate that. And then it was Abigail's birthday, so I gifted her a Mountain Mist Bloom, as it was one of her loved gifts that I could also do a higher quality. Here's that summit area. It's really important to unlock it if you want perfection, because there are some forageables that only spawn up there in specific seasons, and I have absolutely made the mistake before of being a couple items behind and having to wait an entire season because I haven't unlocked the north area of the map there. I also upgraded my coop, as I would like it to be automated for the winter time, so I don't have to worry about remembering to feed my chickens and ducks and everything like that. And I made a quick trip to the spirit realm to check out how it looked, and met Belinda and chatted up with her girlfriend, I believe, and gifted June. Here is me farming up some iron for whatever I'm doing in the mines, and desperately trying to get my additional dwarf scrolls. So there I got dwarf scrolls 3 from a little blue slime there. And then I'm trying to get down to the levels where there is like areas to till in the mines for Dwarf Scroll 4, and the moment I got there I literally had a drop of 2 of them, which made me so excited. It felt super silly and redundant, but that's okay. And then I gifted something for Sandy's birthday on the 15th of fall. This is me just like kind of deciding I really want to color code the museum and make it extra pretty. So I did that here now that I have it unlocked, and I planted a bunch of fruit trees, which I spent a ton of my money on. I don't think that these are profitable compared to things like star fruit wine or anything like that, but I really wanted them and I really wanted to fill out my greenhouse. So this is an example of me being very not productive. And then on day 72 was the Stardew Valley Fair. I don't quite know how the mod works in comparison to the Grange display, so I tried not to use a ton of modded items. I only used one, which probably didn't pay an effect, but I really love how Ridgeside Village and Stardew Expanded make these fairs have so much extra like space and feel more full of people, opposed to like the 10 or 15 villagers that are always around. Like, it makes it feel so much more alive. I did win the Grange display with a score of 108. I've never gotten a perfect score before, but I definitely would like to at some point. And did a little bit of gambling so that I was able to get my star drop and the rare crow that I need to add to my collection. On day 73, I decided it would be kind of a good idea to finish up a bunch of loose ends with quests, so I gifted Marnie and Amaranth and collected some purple shorts. I gifted George a pepper, and it looks hilarious on my garbage hat like it's a little plate. And I finished up this dinner request from Jody and brought her a large bounce of bats so that we could have dinner together. And finally I gave Demetrius a melon. As expected, I gifted June a coffee bean, and I'm getting very high in hearts with him, which is super exciting. When I am not busy and there's time not accounted, I'm probably farming as many dust sprites as possible. Everyone does this, but I would like the burglar's ring if possible. I am very close. And I finished up a quest for the wizard for ectoplasm right there, so I gave it to him to unlock the farm obelisks so that I can get around my farm a little bit better. I don't find that the Solo Four Corners farm is so big I can't traverse it, unlike like Grandpa's farm or some of the bigger ones that come with Stardew Valley Expanded, where you definitely need those, but it's still great to have. And once again, I had bad luck with treasure floors in the Skull Caverns, but I did finally get a dinosaur egg, so in just a mere 8 days I will have my own pet dinosaur, which I am very excited for. I don't know if I've ever seen this quest from Sandy, but I did have a cute little cutscene with her in the evening, and then harvest all of my star fruits in the hopes of making moolah from the wine. This was one of my most exciting days, because I have not gotten a prismatic shard or an ancient seed in this playthrough, and it's very frustrating. So I came to the Ridgeside Gathering and realized that they sell prismatic shards for only 4,000 gold, and I was so excited because my weapon is horrible and I want the Galaxy Sword so badly. Had a little adventure here with all of the NPCs, which is super fun to see all of them together, and then decided to buy an auto grabber instead of some shears, because my animals, specifically my sheep, are able to be sheared right now and I don't want to deal with it. I finally bought a duck and named it Ranpur, which is a type of citrus fruit I had to Google, and I also did a key lime, like key lime pie. I do not know the accuracy of my citruses, but I'm certainly running out of steam when it comes to the theme of my names for my creatures, and had a day full of cutscenes with Robin. It was hilarious. This is one of those days that had 2 villagers back to back, which on their birthdays, which is very frustrating because I find it super easy to miss them, but I mean, it's necessary with the number of villagers I literally have in this game. And then I got the quest for Robin's research rush, which I completed that day. I decided that having 1,000 extra wood would never be a bad thing, and access to the stone chest, although I don't have a ton of extra stone, would still be really helpful to have, so I gave it my best shot and went to these deep woods to explore. Moving forward, I also decided to check Ridgeside for quests, and the one villager, Faye, had this crafting quest that involved clothing items, which I thought was super fun. One thing I really wish in Stardew was that there was more quests in the system, especially for late game. So I was pretty excited for this quest and did a little bit of research because I am not the best at the fashion items in Stardew, but I realized that I simply needed a field snack, pale ale, and I believe a muscle remedy. You'll see here to unlock the 3 jackets that she was looking for. Yes, and there we go. And then I have all 3 for the quest. I 100% had to look that up, but I brought them to her house and donated them, and it was worth 10,000 gold, which was super cool. So much of this gameplay is spent with me giving gifts for birthdays. It is so overwhelming, and it's the reason why I'm hoarding so many items, because I never know what people need and I can't stay on top of it. But I finally had my 6th heart cutscene with June, and that means that I'm incredibly close to getting to that final stage and getting a boyfriend by the end of this playthrough, which I think I will do by the end of fall. Here's me doing some more mining, and then with the East Scarp expansion, I had this note in my mail about a Spirits Eve festival, which was so pretty. I wish that the Stardew mail looked this cute all the time, but I'm really happy that the East Scarp creators put them in that way. And my sweet gem berry was also grown, so I did that and got my star drop. I super quickly ran into town, specifically just to finish off this quest for the Sand Dragon's last meal and buy some star fruit as well, which means that I am completely finished the Q quest as well, checking things off my list and getting really close to completed. However, I have still had absolutely zero luck when it comes to the traveling cart, and have gotten no winter forageables, which is quite disappointing because it looks like I will not finish the community center before winter. It is Corinne's birthday, so I gifted her some honey, and then I had previously constructed a shed, and so I am moving it up to a better location now that it is cleared out from all of the kegs I had, and I'm going to start putting everything inside just for making it a little bit more aesthetic. I also finally finished clearing off the Summit Farm. I don't know what crops I can use in the winter time here, but I'm definitely excited to use this to the best of my abilities and kind of load it up with profits. And it was a starfruit wine day, sorry, so I made a bunch of money. I don't need that much money for this playthrough because I'm not going for perfection that quickly, but I still want to make my farm as pretty as possible and befriend as many villagers as I can. That is my main goal here, but I went to that celebration at East Scarp and got this cool spirit torch, which you'll see sooner completely freaked me out, and I loved the Halloween costumes on everyone. I thought I had like a seasonal outfit mod installed, but I guess I don't, but this is the spirit torch. It just leaves this like weird blue dark spot on the farm, but maybe I'll find a use for it and make it look cool and spooky. And then this is the expansion of the Spirits Eve Festival, which is so cool. As always, in my first year, I got the golden pumpkin and then kind of explored this whole area. I ran down to the bottom right and saw a very spooky looking pumpkin here and had to speak to him. It was so cute. He was called the Pumpkin King and told me to have a nice and happy Spirits Eve, which was sweet. Finally, it is my last day of the season, and I found out the mayor is apparently moving into East Scarp, which is something about this mod I have never heard of, and I'm super excited to learn. But none of that matters because it is the 28th, and I have 8 hearts with June, so I ran as quick as I could to him playing on the piano and asked him to be my boyfriend, and he said yes. Overall, I am super proud of how much I have finished in part 3 of fall of my 100 Days of Stardew Valley playthrough. I have not finished the community center, but I did 100% the Ridgeside Village questline. I have not missed a birthday, and I unlocked June as my boyfriend, which is the main goal overall. Thank you so much for watching though, and I hope you stay tuned for part 4. Bye now.